The siren's call of the war machine, what India must learn from the Caribbean escalation. Good evening and welcome. Tonight we are looking forward across the globe, not following a political drama, but to study a dangerous precedent which is being set in the Caribbean Sea. A precedent that has profound lessons for our nation. The news is striking. The US Pentagon is deploying the massive USS Gerald R aircraft carrier, a statement of ultimate military power, to the waters of the South America. This is being done under the pretext of a new, highly militarized war on drugs, where about 10 lethal strikes have been already sunk the vessels and killed dozens of individuals, labeled with chilling swiftness as narco-terrorist. The American government justifies this as a necessary defense for their homeland, but for India, watching this global theater unfolds a lesson that is clear and critical, that we must resist the siren's call to militarize the law enforcement and fiercely guard our legal clarity that separates the policing from our war, especially in our own maritime domain. The dangerous erosion of the due process. The fundamental problem with the Caribbean operation is that it is being executed by military with lethal force, bypassing traditional law enforcement and judicial scrutiny. This is not the Indian Coast Guard or the Narcotics Control Bureau interdicting a vessel or bringing the suspects to a trial. This is immediate, fatal military of a nation on high seas. In India, we fight the pervasive drug threats every day, from the Golden Crescent route in the west to the Golden Triangle routes in the east. Our responses, however, is rightly governed by a robust framework of law. We rely on the meticulous work of NCB, state police and specialized maritime agencies. In India, we are to adopt the strike first, ask questions later military doctrine is now being showcased by Pentagon. The door would open to catastrophic overreach and the decay of democratic due process. The solution to the scourge of drugs is not an unverified missile strike. It is a stronger intelligence, judicial capacity, and border security infrastructure. We must never let the unstable agencies of a crisis override the fundamental rule of law that anchors our republic. The sovereignty lessons in the Indian Ocean region, the IOR. This is perhaps the most significant lesson for Delhi. The US is deploying a carrier group and claiming the jurisdiction in the region far from its shores, justifying its presence by unilaterally labeling a threat. If this action stands unchallenged globally, it sets a chilling precedent of the Indian Ocean region, IOR, India's strategic backyard. We rely on IOR remaining a free and open space governed by international maritime law, not by the unilateral feat of the large military powers like the US. We are fully aware of the naval presence of the blurring of the lines by other major actors in our waters. If the world accepts the deployment of the aircraft carrier and the lethal strikes on Caribbean over drug issue, what jurisdiction could another global powerhouse to deploy similar overwhelming force in Bay of Bengal and next to Arabian Sea and next to our shores? India's policy therefore cannot be replicate this kind of military escalation, but to be the loudest global voice demanding the adherence to the international law and the strict non-militarization of law enforcement in the global waters. The safety of our coastline depends upon it. Now finally, the terrorist label, a political trap which is We must critically examine the ease with which the drug cartels are labeled with the narco-terrorist. India has fought painfully with necessary wars with against the genuine cross-border terrorism for decades, we know. Now the differences are that the Pentagon is using the gravity of the T word to justify a shift in the legal authority to move the target from police jurisdiction to military targets. India must avoid the political trap. While criminal networks that traffic drugs certainly employ violence and are linked to terror financing using military designations to authorize the extrajudicial killings in a simple drug interdiction case only weakens the global definition of terrorism and the legal framework we rely on the fight to our genuine security threats. We must target the terror network with precision, but we must fight the drug network with law. Conclusion. Upholding Indian module. The American decision in the Caribbean is an escalation based on a false diplomacy. Either let the drugs flow or fight a full-scale undeclared military war. India's learning curve must point it in a different direction. Our strength lies not in the size of our aircraft carriers, but in the steadfast strength of our legal system and transparency of our democracy. We must invest heavily in our intelligence and to empower the NCB and strengthen our coast guards to intercept, arrest and prosecute and not vaporize the criminals. Let us stand against the easy theoretical appeal of the military spectacle and focus instead on painstaking, necessary work on the rule of law, because in the long run only the law, not the missiles, can truly win the war against narcotics and secure our own sovereignty. So now, what do you think? If this is a necessary force or a dangerous overstep? Let me know in the comments below, and like and subscribe if you believe in the public has right to know the full rules of engagement in this new maritime conflict. Thanks for watching.